Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live, and my voice is coming with me. I promise. I swear to God, folks. But we are the Wrasslin for Life Network. We are back. We were just here for Let's Rumble, and now we're bringing you a special kind of a Let's Rumble, but we're going to be talking about Extreme Rules. We're going to go through the card. We're going to go through our predictions, our thoughts, our feels going into this pay-per-view. As everyone should know, that boy over there and myself love to talk. We love to talk about wrestling. We're going to dive into it. We got lots to, get into, lots to unpackage, and we'll figure out what's in the box. What's in the box? Who knows? But we want to hear your opinions out there. Join us. We're going to have a lot of fun. Let's go. Boom, we are live. Ding, 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 and we are ready to go. Like I said, we're going to dive into Extreme Rules and what the weekend will bring as far as this card goes. We're going to probably talk a couple other things. However, that being said, as always, I am KJ White, Mr. Every Night, the Iron Man of YouTube, the guy that clearly just won't go away no matter how he feels. And I am joined by the Master of Mayhem, everyone's best friend, the What Man himself, Big Nick.
Yowie wowie, you found me.
That's gonna be the next shtick that he runs away with.
Oh yeah, I'll just be the next, Bray Wyatt knockoff.
Right.
But I did want to start off, I guess, with T's and P's and RIP to Sarah Lee, the 2015 Tough Enough winner, passed away today at the age of 30. Sad to see somebody that young go in the wrestling community. But we are here to go through the Extreme Rules card, and probably, I think we're starting to make this into a nice little competition between you and I of, who can predict the card better.
Right. I'm down. And we'll go through these matches and see who's vibing with it a little bit more than the other. But yes, like you said, T's and P's. I mean, it's sad. 30. Like, that's crazy. I got younger brothers who are in that age range, and you couldn't imagine, 30's too young. So, big loss and big shout out to everyone out there that's feeling it right now. But yeah, it's unfortunate, Nick. But with that being said, yeah, we're going to get into these predictions. We're going to talk about Extreme Rules, one of the more anticipated pay-per-views or live premium events than we've had in quite a while. It's kind of a thing with the new Papa Paul era that we're actually excited about these fucking pay-per-views.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest, wrestling weekend overall since SummerSlam, probably.
Yeah, it's pretty close. I mean, when was All Out? That All Out weekend was jammed, right? So
yeah, but that ended up just turning out being popular for the wrong reasons. I think this one's still this has got a lot to deliver, and I think it's absolutely going to.
Yeah, I'm optimistic. I'm highly optimistic. Before we get into some of the chatter, do keep in mind, folks, we will be talking about the matches. If you want to chime in and give your opinion, don't be shy. This is the channel by fans, by fans, for fans, by fans. Told you, I'm not well. But yeah, we do this every night. We will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we are doing 4 shows, 1 stream, the quadruple header. We are going to do Bound for Glory. We're going to do Rampage. We're going to do SmackDown. We're going to do Battle of the Belts. We are not going home until the wrestling is done. Saturday, special start time. We're going live at 6 so we can cover GCW Fight Club, Moxley versus Gage, career versus title. And that's going to literally bleed right into Extreme Rules. So we will be here for a long time on Saturday, and then we're coming back on Sunday for night 2 of GCW Fight Club. So much wrestling to cover. It's also Canadian Thanksgiving, so I'm looking forward to a turkey day. I might be lethargic and as useless as it's all right.
But comatose on stream.
Yeah, I might be I might need some perky vitamins that day.
But no, absolutely. Like, you show me another wrestling channel that's out there right now covering 7 shows in 3 days. We literally cover anything and everything when it comes to professional wrestling.
Yeah, we're the kamikazes of you wrestling.
Oh,
Tariq, how are you doing? Hagen, what's up, buddy? How are you feeling today? Kayla, hopefully my girl Liv beats Ronda. We're going to talk about it. I don't like your hope. Ron, how you doing, Ronnie? Greg, what's up? Gratuitous. I can't miss the gratuitous. What?
why?
Greg, I hope you're well. Ronnie, again. Boss Monster, how are you? Lots of names in the chat. I like it. Vlogman1, welcome. And we'll get to some of your comments as soon as possible. There you go. Some love from Hagen. I appreciate that. We're doing well, folks. And like I said, you got Friday Junior in the books. The weekend is on the horizon, and I can't wait. So without further ado, Jordan, how are you, buddy? And I just want to take one last thing. I know I'm sidetracking this a little bit, but big shout out to AJ Scraggs, who just did the interview with me. If you haven't seen it yet, go check out Let's Rumble. It's live when we get off the air here tonight. Watch that interview. Give the gentleman some love. What an outstanding interview. He's only 19 years old. He's just beginning his career. But the guy has confidence. The guy believes in himself. And he seems to have the right attitude, the right mantra to get it done. So I'm looking forward to seeing what his future holds. But great interview. So, yes.
Oh, absolutely. Big shout out to him coming on and all of that. And I was going to say, since we're starting into the predictions here, I'll bring up somebody who he had mentioned, or a couple people that he had mentioned in that interview. So first match on the card for Extreme Rules, we've got the Brawling Brutes versus Imperium. Who are you taking and why?
Okay, so I'm looking forward to this match. I think it's going to be insane. I think it's actually going to show somebody out there what a trios match could look like. I know we call it a 6-man tag in this realm, but
it is also an old-fashioned Donnybrook match. I will mention that, by the way, because we've got stipulations to these matches.
Every match has a stipulation. I love it. My money is going to be on. This is a tough one, but my money is going to go on Imperium. Gunther's the champion. Imperium just got back together. I think they're heading on to bigger and better things. My money overall is going to be Imperium.
Oh, out the gate, we're going to disagree. Yeah. I'm going with the Brawling Brutes. I don't know how the match between Sheamus and Gunther is going to play out for the IC title. That may change, I guess, the pacing going into this match, but I still think at the end of the day, the Brawling Brutes are somehow becoming the baby faces in this whole situation.
They really have been, and they're over. So that's where I'm hesitant on my pick. But
so that's the thing, is I think even if Sheamus loses that match for the IC title, which, I mean, Papa Paul, help your buddy complete that collection there and just give him, even if it's a quick reign, at least one. We thought we were going to see it at Clash. It'd be nice to see. But I still think, especially with being a Donnybrook match, they've been on a babyface run. I think the Brawling Brutes win. You muted.
No. Can you hear?
No.
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay. But folks, let us know who you're taking for this match in the chat right now. Well, I fixed this. Where is it? Oh, we're back like a jackrabbit.
Hello.
There we go.
Yeah, sorry, I got a technical error that popped up.
The rabbit got you there.
There you go. I'm back. You were saying, sir?
I was more of just saying how I think that the Brawling Brutes, because of the babyface run, even if Sheamus doesn't win the IC title, I think this. You started off with a happy win. I feel like spoiler alert, we might get a lot of heel victories. So I think you get a babyface win to even it out.
Right. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to be in the minority on this one. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good match. I think these guys are going to tear it down. I think there's got a lot of potential. The Donnybrook, I know some people might say lazy booking, but you know what? It's a stipulation pay-per-view. They actually have stipulations on the fucking matches, so don't complain. And these are three men that all are heavy hitters, three men that are athletic, three men that are going to brawl. Eichner and Marcel were one of the best tag teams out there when they got broken up originally. To see them back together is going to be outstanding. We all know what Sheamus and Gunther have done to each other over the last little bit here. It's been enjoyable. It's been authentic. It's been two big guys smacking the shit out of each other. I'm looking forward to it no matter who wins.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be a fantastic match of just even the talent level that's in that ring between Gunther, Ludwig, Sheamus, Pete Dunne, Butch. Like, you've got a lot of good technical guys in there that can tell a story. And especially because this story, take notes, Tony Khan, actually has some build to it and has some runtime.
And it doesn't have to be 6 months. It was a couple weeks. But we got to the point. I mean, well, it's been a few weeks now. My apologies, but it's been a gradual build, and it's not the longest story ever. But you tell enough of a story. It's like when you're going to debut someone, like where you bring in a spot book. You know, you give us a couple vignettes. In 2 weeks, this person's coming. In 1 week, this person's coming. And NXT used to do it all the time. Oh shit, who's this? Who's the velvet? Oh, maybe a bad example.
Yeah.
Pull back. But you know what I mean. They've done it before. Well, they tried to do it with Veer, but they did it for 7 months, which was brutal. But honestly, Nick, you do need some build up, and I think this has a nice little build up to it. It's bubbling.
Oh, absolutely. But we're already, I guess, 1-1 against each other. But
yeah, I'm taking notes, Nick. I'm taking notes.
Well, like I said, we've started about talking about potentially, maybe not this time, but in the future of starting.
Why not this time? What happened?
Oh, so then what do you want to put on the line, sir?
I don't know. We're gonna have to think about it. Maybe we'll take we're not putting any facial hair on the line. That's off the limit.
That's not negotiable.
I've already put my beard on the line. What was the scenario? Austin Theory had to win the Rumble and cash in at Mania, and something else. There was 3 things that Austin Theory had to do in order for me to shave my beard. But I think I'm safe on this one, especially with the Papa Paul booking.
Right.
It'd be fucked if I was wrong, though.
So, yeah, we might have to try and come up with something here for some sort of a punishment for the loser here.
Right. I got to do the what chant for the fucking for a week.
Oh, my God.
Right. I'm the what guy for the week.
Oh, my God. All right. We'll come with something.
We'll see if the fans have any suggestions. They're wanting us already. What?
Why?
Vlogman. And so I got somebody over here with me. Check. I'm also keeping track of how many fans agreed with us at the time, because I know some of these turncoats come like match night will be like,
they'll be like, yeah, I had that 100%.
Right.
I called everything.
It's all right. I know I'm going to write these down, and by the time we get to Saturday, I'm going to be like, nope, change my mind.
Nope, wrong.
All right, sir. What do we got for match 2?
So we've got Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey in an Extreme Rules match for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
This one's a pickle, but I'll let you go first on this one because I went first last time. Obviously, Kaylee was hoping for her girl Liv.
Sorry.
Let's talk about it.
But Ronda's going to win this match. I do think it's set up nicely that if Liv is going to retain, it's got the Extreme Rules to where
that's the excuse.
Well, yeah, to where Ronda can take a loss and she can. I mean, we've seen Liv start to get more extreme with the table spot, and she's got the bat to be like Harley Quinn and everything. But I do still think Ronda's what Fox wants. Ronda's gonna get more eyes. They're building her up now finally to be an actual just badass. She's got the potential of Shayna and maybe Sonya getting involved, I think, and also there's a certain female wrestler who's currently away from the company who might be coming back that I think would jump into a feud with Ronda versus Liv, because I think if the Queen jumped into
you were going to revisit the Queen versus Ronda,
better than if she visits, we get that versus Liv, because then Charlotte's taking that belt.
Yeah, I think so. That would be my vote. See, this is a tough one for me because I agree with you completely. I think Ronda Rousey, just the way it's built, who she is, the only way Ronda's going to lose is if. Now wait, She lost the last time when she tapped her out. The crowd was booing her. I'm gonna go Liv. I'll go Liv.
Really?
Fuck it.
Okay.
And well, you know what? The wager is gonna be no fun if we agree. So I'm gonna go. This is a bit of a Hail Mary for me, but I'll go Liv mostly because you picked Ronda. But can I can put it out there to the folks. Remember when Ronda tapped her out and the crowd was booing and the crowd was all
Yeah.
upset and given? I think this might be a redemption moment for Liv.
Well,
And I remember
that's part of
Ronda
it.
defended her. Maybe
That-
Ronda was like, "I'll let her beat me. Fuck it. I like her."
Yeah, well, that's part of it too. Like you can make a case very much for Liv. Like you're not completely, reaching or anything. You could make a case for it. And my thing is the fans I feel like have already kind of halfway turned on Liv of we've moved past it. She's over-ish because she'll do the extreme spots and all of that, but I still don't think Ronda's, I think, the bigger draw.
The world is a vampire. I don't know why we're getting that, but okay.
We're
Yeah,
not
no, I
watching
agree.
NWA.
Which match? We'll talk about that coming up. Absolute Zero, but thank you.
Right.
I heard Charlotte coming to Raw. Ooh, interesting.
Ooh. I hope not because I feel like the Raw women's roster is already stacked, but
It's getting there. But you got 3 hours, and as we see, JV's got Liv. We got a Ronda. So
see, we're split even in the crowd here. Of
it's interesting because you kind of got to watch it. I don't think either one of them have the belt long. I do think there's other people on the horizon that are going to really push for it.
right? Yeah, that's probably almost the hardest match to call, just because you literally don't know which way they're going to go with it.
No, it's really tricky. And the easy assumption is Ronda Rousey. But like you
Right.
said, I think the Extreme Rules stipulation opens it up to Liv's got a fighting chance, right? Like nobody believes that Liv Morgan could beat Ronda straight up, one-on-one. But if she runs out and smashes her in the face with a chair, fuck it, let's go. Like, I
Right.
don't
If she
know.
comes out with a baseball bat, she's good.
Right? Acting like Alba Fire over here. This is my fear about this match.
Yeah, well, I think it is going to probably honestly be the weakest match on the card, to be honest.
Carlos does not like Liv. Give it to Ronda. Another for Ronda. So far, the fans have, for the most part, agreed with your picks.
Well, I feel like at least with this one, like I said, of that, I feel the fans have kind of turned on Liv ever since she actually won it. They cheered her chasing it, but the second she won it, they're like, thanks, but no thanks.
How did I set your Google off? I wasn't.
We haven't talked about Alexa yet. Alexa.
Listen, the Extreme Rules helps cover. There you go. I agree with JV. They got to do something because the last couple straight up wrestling matches have been awful.
Ronda won a match with a one arm tied behind her back versus Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville with Naomi as her tag partner. So how does that woman lose, really?
Right. That's the problem when you build them up in such a way that you got to find a way to beat them. Now, I like what Dale has to say here.
I got Liv retain and Adam Pearce cost Ronda for the win. Ooh.
Juicy, because why else did we have that big Pierce promo, right? Nothing's come of it.
Well, and it is interesting. I guess we can halfway get into this real quick for a little bit because they're getting the season premieres pretty much of SmackDown, Raw, all of that coming up to where they've refreshed the commentary teams and everything.
Yes.
And now they're going to start. There might be minor changes, I guess, to the shows. Like they might be trying to make them seem more individual, like how you remember growing up when Raw and SmackDown felt entirely different shows.
Yes, absolutely.
So we might be getting that now.
I'm curious. I'm interested. I like the changes. I'm not positive about what's his face, the British dude that they've moved up.
Kevin Patrick, the Irish fella.
Irish fella.
Yes.
I'm not positive about him yet. We'll see how he does. I'm giving him a chance. I felt like Jim Jones was too much of a sports broadcaster. I had this opinion where I'm like, I don't like this guy. But then when I would listen to him do interviews for like the docu-series as they do, or when I would hear him on his podcast, I'm like, all right, this guy's pretty cool. I like his attitude. I like how he talks. But when they put him on that table, he just kind of lost some of his personality at times. So yeah, I like that we're freshening up Booker T at NXT. Crazy.
Yeah, Jimmy Smith is good outside of WWE for some reason. Like he's fantastic in all of his MMA stuff, everything like that. But the second he got on WWE commentary, it might have just been because of the 3-man booth.
Yeah.
It just kind of swallowed him up
Or
whole.
or
But
it could be like more shit in his ear opposed to like with the fights, you're calling the fight. So
Right.
I mean, you're getting little notes in your ear, obviously, but you're not getting those production notes of make sure you hit this and don't forget that. And, oh, don't say wrestler. And like, so maybe that was part of it. Who knows? But I'm curious to see what this change brings.
Yeah, and I will just at least name it real quick for those who didn't catch the news earlier today. So Michael Cole and Wade Barrett are going to be the commentary team on SmackDown. And on Raw, it's going to be Kevin Patrick and Corey Graves. And on NXT, it's going to be Vic Joseph and Booker T. And they did also even name the backstage interviewers as well.
Yes. Yeah. Byron's going to earn a paycheck.
Right. Soundboard Saxton still got on the books there. But yeah, on SmackDown, you're going to have
Kayla.
Yeah, you're still going to have Kayla and Megan Morant. I was just seeing they're going to have Samantha Irving on ring announcing.
Okay.
Yeah, they're even doing the ring announcing is different. So I'm cool with that. Like you said, or like I said, it makes them feel individual shows.
Right.
Saxton's going to be on Raw with Kathy Kelly. We've got Mackenzie Mitchell on NXT.
Yeah. No, I you know what's funny? And I don't want to get sidetracked because we'll get to the predictions, but one of the things I thought today when I was reading the press releases for the announcer changes and how definitive that Triple H is trying to make things, and you can see the evolution, like the pun is intended on that one, but you see this growth, and it hit me today. I don't know why, because it's just such a light story of, oh, the announcers are changing, but it was just like, you look at this company and the news is all positive, even if it's light and fluffy, like new announcers or new commentators or shuffling or Booker T's come back, but it's all like this, yay, yay, yay. And then you flip over to the other side and it's all like, burn it down. Like, holy shit. So it's just funny. All the vibe coming out of one side, negative, bitter, grumpy, no wins, nobody's celebrating except Jericho. And then you get this, and it's all like, look what we're doing. Woo! I like it.
Yeah.
I dig it.
One locker room is just, a dumpster fire. The others, everybody's hugging it out. But I do like that they've switched now to every show has a 2-man booth. Like we're going back to like that old school Jimmy King and, JR.
Yeah, I'm just curious how Kelly hangs with Graves. Will he push back? Will he be straight enough or verbal enough to make Graves matter as the smarky heel announcer?
I think Graves is the one who steers, that ship. I like that they've got a babyface and a heel combination on on every show.
Yes, I think
Cole works face, Barrett works heel, all of that.
Yeah, Barrett will run heel against Cole. I think that works well. I don't love Cole, but we'll see. He's been a little more a little more spry as of late.
I've liked Cole ever since him and Pat got together, but I guess we'll digress from the commentary conversation.
Have Shayna screw Ronda instead of feud. What if Shayna helps Ronda and starts a faction?
Right.
We're getting factions.
Right.
And we know who's in charge of this company. One of the longest standing best factions ever.
And the man who's been in multiple factions, the Corporation, DX,
right.
Evolution.
He's a faction friend.
Right.
Hi, y'all. Do y'all think Escobar will make his debut tomorrow night? I'm hoping. I'm a big fan. Yes. And I love how they did it. He pulls up outside the Performance Center and says, think I was leaving without you? Get in. And we haven't seen them since. Let's go. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Right.
Ronda for the win. I have no idea. My White Rabbit prediction, Ronnie Hood, Joe Gacy, Bliss Corbin, LA Knight. We'll get back to that. I think Shayna should interfere. A couple people voting for Shayna. Barrett go to SD. We talked about that. Would I be sent to the hole if I plug my video directly to you guys? Yes.
Wait, what?
I don't know. I don't know what you're asking. Booker T can't read. Oh, he could yell and talk. So
Shucky ducky, quack quack.
What happens to Jimmy Smith? Jimmy Smith's gone. Pat, I think Pat will be back in some capacity at some point.
Pat will be back once the football season's done. And that's, I think, the big thing with Jimmy Smith is he put out there, too, as this came out on Twitter, that he was done with WWE.
Yes. I also heard Mandy Rose and Toxic Attraction getting called up. Bayley was talking shit about Toxic Attraction, so that's looking more likely.
We've only been saying that on this channel for, what, almost a month now?
I feel like it's been a month or so, for sure.
But speaking of Bayley, so Bianca Belair versus Bayley for the Raw Women's Championship in a ladder match.
I'm going Bayley for sure.
All right, so we're gonna have to agree on this one because I think Bayley takes this. I think Bianca's had a good long title reign. It's been good, but I think right now, what a better visual than to have Damage Control with all the belts.
Do it. And then you bring up someone like Toxic Attraction, and then they go after all the belts, and then you're battling over belts. Will they win it? No, they just got there, but it's worth the conversation.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's your next big feud going on. Like I said, you could have Toxic Attraction versus Damage Control in the female War Games match at Survivor Series.
Right. That's actually a good way to go with it. Charlotte Flair returns and helps Liv Morgan retain. Interesting.
Charlotte Flair could never, ever be a babyface.
But she could have that little moment of like, oh my God, she's back, and then give it a couple weeks and she turns on Liv and everyone hates her again.
Well, that's the Becky turn. Like you pop because she's back, and then she instantly turns into an asshole.
One of the worst decisions in wrestling fucking history. I still stand by that. Get the fuck out of here. That was so nonsensical. Bayley wins, period. I don't know if that's the right terminology we want to run with on this one, Chris, but I get what you're going with.
Grammar.
Is anybody picking Bel-Air? Absolute Zero says Bayley. Belair versus Charlotte at Crown Jewel. Interesting.
But that doesn't mean the title.
Oh, no, that's true. But they, you know, it's a video response on my thoughts of AEW and Dynamite last night. Okay.
If you want to send it to us, I mean, our socials and everything are right there.
Yeah, but Bayley wins. Bianca isn't over with me. I agree with him. I still I thought her title run has been lukewarm. It's been average. It's been cluttered with a lot of like triple threats and other shit. I think they're going to try really hard to really impress us though with this. This has a dark horse chance of being match of the night.
Yeah. Well, and especially it's Bayley's kind of first big match back. So she might really want to prove like I can still go, motherfuckers.
Right. JV, if you're asking to share like one of your own like channel videos, we're gonna say no, and then people are gonna, oh, you guys suck. But it's just we don't want everybody dropping links in the chat and that we don't know where they go. We can't verify it.
Our social's there, so if you want to send it to us and everything, and then if we watch it and we want to shout it out and everything, absolutely.
There you go.
Nothing but love, but yeah,
that's it.
Just trying to keep everything safe and keep everything copacetic.
As we can see by our fluctuating numbers, the bots are out plenty, so we got to be careful with what we share and what we don't. So,
right.
But yeah, that being said, I say Bayley wins the new women's champion. So across the board, Alt Control Delete wins the titles, or has all the titles. KJ, I don't get the EST thing. I don't get. Well, I mean, I get where she's going with it, except you have Ronda walking around as the baddest. Like, I'll take this one. Like,
I will give Bianca credit. She's actually made herself a star now. She's very much put herself in that upper stratosphere when it comes to the WWE women's division. I just think, like I said, she's had the belt since SummerSlam, WrestleMania, maybe. She's had the belt for a hot minute and she's had a good run with it. So, like I said, what better way to kind of pass it on? And Damage Control is the hot new act going. So,
right,
we already have the bloodline over holding all the titles. Why not just do it with the women?
Yeah, why not? Fuck it. I don't disagree, but listen, when Belair was a heel and she was running that EST gimmick, I thought it really worked well. I really did. I thought it worked well when she was cocky and arrogant and like I'm the baddest, and she was overselling herself, and people were like, I don't like her. That to me was better than I skip to my loo every day, Bianca Belair. So
But what if this breaks her and makes her go that way?
maybe, but then you got to find a baby face for her to go up against. I have heard the Charlotte rumors as well. I mean, Charlotte versus Belair, maybe, but there's a lot going on right now.
Right.
If Bayley loses rematch at Crown Jewel,
No.
why do we keep pushing things to Crown Jewel? It bothers me.
Because that's like the catch-all, just not continuity pay-per-view. That's why we're getting Roman versus Logan Paul there.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Right, fair enough.
Bayley will win, and Becky will be. Becky will be back after the match. What do you think of that? What about Becky returning? I don't know what her status
that
is.
would be interesting to see Becky versus Bayley. That I could get behind. I feel like we haven't seen that a ton, especially with the change of positions to where Becky's the heel or the baby face and Bayley's the heel. Yeah.
Now we haven't talked about what about Banks? What about Naomi? Are they possible? Like this is crazy. The impossible returns to this company.
Right.
Hold on tight. Bunnies from Victor. Victor, how you doing tonight? Looking good. Bianca has a great wrestling style, fast and lots of energy. In the ring, I like Bel-Air. She's a talented wrestler. And she's getting better, exponentially better. But as a character, it's just a little trouble. It's a little bit troublesome.
It's gotten a little bit stale, I guess is the best way to put it.
Well, yeah, because again, you need that fluctuation in emotion, right?
Well, if we want to get into the next match, speaking of fluctuation of emotion, Matt Riddle versus Seth Rollins in the Fight Pit match with Daniel Cormier as the special guest referee.
Well, before we predict, let's talk about the fact, what are your thoughts with DC coming into the mix here?
Oh, I can't. My thoughts on that tie into my prediction. So I guess I'll defer that question.
You listen, I get why they did it. I think anytime you have some type of cross promotional crossover like this, it's got potential. Him as a special referee, I mean, it's a little bit out of left field, but I mean, you sell us on the fact of he's one of the best cage fighters ever in the history of at least the UFC. I can get behind it. I'm all for it. I'm a big fan of DC. I know what he's done in his career. I know who he is. And he's not a bad talker. You saw him the other night on that pre-tape he did. He doesn't struggle to find his words. He doesn't come off unauthentic. Like, okay, that's him. We get it. And I think it's a nice little element. And again, Triple H trying to bring eyes. That's why we're getting Logan Paul at Crown Jewel, even though I hate it.
Well, and with DC, absolutely. I mean, the man does commentary and media constantly for the UFC, so the man's very well spoken. He's proven that even when he was in the cage, and he's currently a UFC Hall of Famer, so you do get that crossover appeal, that crossover attention and everything. But he has also expressed feelings and thoughts about getting involved in professional wrestling. So this might be a little bit of, like with Cain Velasquez, like with Gable Stevenson, of dip your toe in and we'll see how we feel about you, see how you feel about us, and we'll go about it.
Right. Yeah, fair enough. It'll be interesting. It really, it's got me curious, if nothing else, to be like, how the fuck does this play out? But again, it's more like positive, upbeat news. Like, hey, guess what? Even if people can shit on it. I know the anti-WWE establishment's like, oh, it's fucking shit. But realistically, it could work, and we'll see what happens. Matt Riddle wins by knockout. Whew.
Oh, I think this match is going to be entertaining for sure, especially with DC involved. But so who are you taking, or do we want to get to the chat?
I think it's your turn to go first, to be honest.
So then I'm taking Matt Riddle, and my reasoning is, well, no, you don't. You can agree with me. We don't have to
thinking about it.
as I think Matt Riddle has to win. He already lost at Clash. He has to win the Fight Pit match. And I guess, put a halfway caveat on this of that. I think DC screws Seth, and everybody's been talking about DC versus Brock at Crown Jewel. I think we get Seth versus DC, because I think Seth then wins versus DC at Crown Jewel, and then that's how we get to Seth versus Roman at Survivor Series.
Look at that. Tic-tac-toe. Okay. I don't know if he necessarily screws him. More of it might be a case of
Seth feels he screws him.
Or just like, yeah, like Seth gets in his face, is mad about something or whatever, and it leads to a push, which leads to, like, you know, a right cross and then roll up, or, you know, the right cross into the finisher. I could see that happening for sure.
Right.
I think the best thing would be just Riddle outright kicks DC in the head out of nowhere, and everyone's like, what?
Just Riddle just completely
Let's go. Seth, here's one. So Absolute Zero says Seth wins, Bray returns to this match. I don't know
if Bray, well, we can get into what we think is going to happen with that Wasquy Wabbit later on. But I don't know if we get anything with the White Rabbit specifically, like following a match, or like that's, you know, the next angle after a match or anything. That might be kind of just a solo standalone moment, or the last thing we see before we go off air.
No, I think he fucks somebody up. Excuse my language, folks, but I think he'll, again, anytime somebody makes a big return, especially if it's going to be somebody of the spooky variety, and I don't know if we're going to get this in Extreme Rules, so I think we're more likely to get more on Monday. I really do, on the season premiere. I keep saying it. I've beaten this drum for about a week and a half now, maybe 2 weeks. But I think you get something at Extreme Rules. If it's standalone, it will just be another clue. But it's always really impactful if they show up and destroy something or somebody. And I said it would be really cool if the Wyatt 6, whatever that is, shows up and just decimate, like we said, like a Nexus tile, but they up it, like the ring catches fire or something. I don't fucking know what they do. But they just really blow it up. They make it like just epic. You got to go over the top and just wipe everybody out. That's why War Games sounds better.
Fair enough. Did I freeze or did you?
I must have been you. I feel good. This Sunday, October 8th, Extreme Rules. Yes, it is. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're here, folks. And we will take a second to remind everybody who's just tuning in, we are the Wrasslin for Life Network. We do live streams for all the shows. Tonight, we're doing a prediction show for Extreme Rules, which we will be here for. Tomorrow night, one of the more epic nights we've ever had on this channel. We have SmackDown. We have Bound for Glory. We have Rampage. We have Battle of the Belts, all on this channel. We're going to give you live reaction, live review, live opinion, straight out of the gate. We're not going to stop. Friday night, we're going to go live, and we're going to be here until the wrestling. I'm going to get those lines out of my face. We lost my boy Nick. But we are going to go from the beginning. We come live at 8 o'clock. We're going right till the wrestling ends. So, you know, tune in for that. Click your little bell. You never know when we're going to pop up. And we will be back Saturday. We're going to open Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to cover GCW Fight Club. Good card. I mean, Ali Catch and Sawyer Wreck. I can't wait for that match. But the big one everyone's talking about, Moxley defending his GCW title against Nick Gage. If Moxley wins, Nick leaves GCW. If Nick wins, he gets his belt back. What could happen? I don't know. We're going to talk about it. We're going to be live. And then, if that wasn't enough, that should be enough on most days. But we are going to go straight through Extreme Rules right after that. And then we will be back on Sunday for GCW Night 2, Fight Club Night 2. And we're going to have a lot of fun with that. So we're battling through, like I said, a little under the weather, battling. You hear me sucking wind a little bit at times. But, yeah, no, we're here all the goddamn time, folks. So don't miss out. Be a part of this. Tell everybody you know that we are here. If you missed my interview with AJ Scraggs from earlier, check it out. If you didn't see our interview from last week with Benny, check that out. What? He popped off. I couldn't help it. Pop. Lots of whats, because lots of shows. Then do keep in mind, all next week is going to be great. We have the anniversary of DX, or the celebration for DX, the season premiere. We got new announced teams. We got so much going on. So we're going to be here for it all. We cover it at a different level, folks. We do it on a different grind. We do not stop. So as soon as Nick comes back, I'll start talking about the wrestling again. But in the meantime, Hagen making predictions for that one too. Let's go. Logan Paul go to the win because Logan Paul going to win. I don't think so, Marcus. Sorry, bud. I can't. Now, you got a point, and it's not a bad theory that Logan Paul winning would be huge news. And if you want to get more mainstream eyes and notice, yes. But I just can't see them giving up on this long-term story of the bloodline. I don't think it ends in Crown Jewel. I don't think it ends with Logan Paul. I really don't. So, pardon me. I don't see Logan Paul being the guy that takes this. But we'll get back into that after. Drink some tea with honey to help your voice. Thank you, Ringing. I greatly appreciate it. I'm taking everything I can, so I will try some tea with some honey. But I think the meds are wearing off as I approach the second hour on stream. So we're getting there. Get cold winter here, weather degrees. Yes, the temperature has dropped. We're definitely getting our Canadian fall, heading towards some winter. Yes, we do get summer. I know some of you guys out there don't know that, but Wade is probably going to tease the undisputed Universal belt. Dro, I'm not quite sure where you're going with that, or what you mean by Wade is going to tease. Like, I don't know, like tease the challenge for it? I don't know. Resident Evil with a great shout out for Sarah Lee. Rest in peace. We did talk about that at the top of the show. Very sad, very young. Thoughts and prayers to her family, her friends. You don't want to see anybody pass away, and it's heartbreaking when they're still so young. More like the funeral of DX. That's my buddy. That's my boy, Victor. I completely agree with you, sir. I think that DX is about to be put out to slaughter. I think if anybody knows what the red wedding is, I think we're going to get the green celebration, the green wedding. We're going to tear them down.
I apologize. The fucking White Rabbit decided it apparently wanted to get me to where my internet just decided it wanted to say, peace out.
That's it. So that's all right. I was just chatting with the folks while you were gone. I can't wait to see Legato tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a big fan of Escobar and Legato, and I like what they were doing. What's her face? Elektra Lopez does not belong in NXT as far as I'm concerned. So she'll be another element. She can wrestle. So let's go. Welcome back. Are you frozen again?
I was. I'm getting angry. Am I back now?
Yeah, you paused in such a weird, like you look like you were on the verge of saying something. So you're
no, I'm just getting angry.
Uh-oh. You're not gonna like me when I'm angry.
Right.
The Black Wedding, aka Taker marries Stephanie. That is a different story.
Yeah.
I still want that to be the White Rabbit. It was me all along. It was me all along. Jack, that is true. Now, with that being said, they're sharing some love. What do you got, Nick? Oh, you're glitched again. That was
weird... No, I'm back now. I'm getting angry. Like I said,
is it windy outside? Are you good?
I don't know.
So we both agree on Riddle for this match.
Okay. So
now I'm half tempted to go Seth Rollins because I do think he's on an upward trajectory.
Oh, absolutely. That's the thing, is we've talked about it on all the streams of now the crowd singing along with his song the whole time. He came out and just stomped everybody. He's looking like he's going to be feuding with Bobby Lashley. So
yeah, I think Riddle needs this win, and Seth will not Seth won't be hurt by a loss. He'll show up
Right.
the next night and still move forward. He'll be okay. So I hate to agree with you, but I have to on this one.
All righty. Well, so
Riddle
then,
wins by KO.
ooh, that's aggressive.
A couple people said that though. I hope Ronda go to the win. Yeah, I think most people are picking Ronda now.
Yeah, I think I'm in the majority on that one.
Ooh, Double R here disagrees. He thinks that Rollins needs to win more. He won the last one. That's where I'm hesitant, right? Because he already got a win over. He already got a win over Riddle.
Yeah, but he did also go on a 3-0 losing streak.
Yes,
Cody still came out, better on the back end of it somehow.
Yeah, I think part of that was, again, Seth is just the consummate professional at this point, and he is that kind of workhorse guy where he'll give you a great match, but his momentum doesn't stop because even in that loss, he comes out. Now the crowds are, he's over with the crowd either way. It's crazy. It's a good status for him.
Absolutely. So do we want to keep going on this, or do we want to go into the next match?
Let me just see. The Brady Bunch boys were awesome on The Masked Singer. Okay, missed it. I saw that, Ronnie. There you go. His steak. That's funny. His streak of losses was lengthy.
You can tell the man's
hungry. I'm like, dude, I haven't eaten much in 2 days other than soup, so steak sounds lovely right now. But yeah, his streak of losses was lengthy. It really was, and he lost to a guy with a purple pack, for fuck's sake. So, Raging Ringer. Rigging return, you might be right. We'll find out on Saturday, so come back and rub it in if I'm wrong. Riddle is just waiting on Randy. I don't know about that.
Well, and especially because there's a lot of skepticism and everything about when Randy can return. He did just lose. Him and WWE lost the legal issue over his tattoo.
Was he part of losing that, or was it just the WWE?
Well, he was part of the people that were sued in it. I think probably WWE is going to obviously, pay any damages or anything that came out of that or whatever the settlement was.
I didn't know you could copyright the tattoo. Like, I just assumed once you put it on my body, it's mine.
It's art. So
yeah, but I paid you to give it to me.
Fair enough. It's one of those. Well, when you're doing it on somebody like that, though, too, like that's the one thing of like, I'm a nobody. So if you tattoo me, fine, fuck.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit.
Right. Well, I'm not going to be in any video game anytime soon.
Yeah. Victor says Raven will be inducted to the Hall of Fame. We won't jump too far into that. I'm a giant Raven fan. When I was young, I actually bumped into him at a movie theater. It was pretty funny. But for me, Raven is one of my all-time faves. Great honor for him. Man, I wish the WWE would have got more out of Raven.
Oh, absolutely. Quote the Raven, nevermore. He was one of my favorite wrestlers growing up, all the way from ECW to WCW to even when he was in WWE. And it still pops me every time I think about that whole story. I believe it was WrestleMania X7 or 18. No, it was X7, to where they had that triple threat hardcore match between him, Kane, and the Big Show.
Yeah.
And he was about that far away from shutting down the whole show because he ran over a power line in a golf cart.
My sister, did they really? Are you joshing on this one, Ronnie? Is that did they legit went to the Hogan store? I want to know. That's cool. Ken, we've watched recently. He just beat Bulldog Jr.
Yeah, the man that's been clamoring to be the special guest referee in the Fight Pit match. I don't know who he pissed off at WWE, but I'd still like to see Shamrock involved in some form or fashion.
Right. Mr. White Rabbit, we'll come back to this comment. You might have to put it back in the chat in a bit, but we will talk about White Rabbit to end this off.
Right.
I'm back. Welcome back. How do you start the Fight Pit match? You put two guys in and go ding ding.
You started off the same way like you should have, hitting that bell notification, because we're here popping up covering anything and everything. What other wrestling channels covering 7 shows in 3 days? So absolutely, they started off the same way you should when you started off watching us.
Right. Give it to me. Give me what I want.
No, that's Oh, I was thinking of the Batista. I quit. That's Andrade right now.
Is Rousey March for the title? Is Rousey March for the title?
Is the match for the title? Yes.
Yes. Not all matches, but yes, that is for a title. Any match that involves a title, the title is on the line.
Right. Well, speaking of matches, we'll get on to the next one here. Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross in a strap match.
This is interesting.
Yeah. Your turn now, big boy.
I'm going Karrion Kross just on recency bias.
Yeah, I have to go with that.
For fuck's sake.
Well, listen, we disagree. We don't have to disagree on everything.
We can't just force the disagreement between us. To me, it serves no purpose to bring Kross back and have him lose.
Right. And this is a potential match to where I guess if you buy into the whole White Rabbit thing, which we'll touch on, I guess, as the Brucey bonus point, if maybe the White Rabbit shows up here. But I think, like you said, Kross just came back. This is his first real big match. He introduced it as the strap match, everything. Yeah, he's been fantastic. It's amazing to see the difference from Karrion Kross under Vince versus Karrion Kross under Papa Paul. So I think Kross absolutely has to take this match, and Drew can take the L.
Right. It's another one where people are pretty extensively one-sided on this, which always makes me nervous when everybody thinks it's going to go one way. Dro says not only is he going to win, he's going to win with a guillotine choke. A tease of Roman versus Kross. Interesting.
Potentially.
Now, some people have surmised that this would be, and you just touched on it, would be a good spot for the White Rabbit or something to do with the White Rabbit. We've seen clues hovering around Karrion Kross, implying Karrion Kross. It's possible. The Fire. She's a wizard, by the way.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, sorry.
No, you're good.
Kross, this match of the night. This could be match of the night, yes.
Oh,
Kross
absolutely.
Versus Drew. Wow, nobody picking our boy Drew.
Well, he did just lose to Roman in not officially his hometown, but the closest he's going to get to wrestling in his hometown for WWE, I feel.
Right.
But I think both men are going to have welts like the size of my forearm after this match because they're going to go hell for leather in this match.
Dale says Kross for the win. I like it. I got to go with Drew. He's been getting choked out by Kross a lot, so I'm going Drew. What if Bray is like, you know what, Carrion, I'm the resident spooky guy around here. But enough of your shit.
I am the spooky one. No one spooks like me.
Right. But
I am the one who goes spook on the TV.
I'm sure the QR code might show up after Kross match. I'm curious what tomorrow's Tomorrow is the last QR code as far as I'm concerned. It will be QR code number 6, I believe, if you follow the map. And tomorrow's QR code is going to be very interesting, I believe.
Right. That's the thing is I wonder, and I think we'll touch on that, like we said at the end of, are we actually even going to get a return or a debut or anything like that tomorrow? Or are we just going to get the next teaser? Are we just going to get a bigger teaser? We're going to get the trailer instead of the teaser trailer.
Yeah. Or maybe we get like fucking a little Firefly Funhouse teaser or something like you've predicted where we just get that. And everyone's like, what the fuck? And then that's where it goes from there.
Right.
I have no idea. Nobody wizards like Jericho. Yeah, no kidding.
Nobody should wizard like Jericho. Jericho would flunk out of fucking Hogwarts.
Drew McIntyre for the win. So a couple Drews.
Right. Couple Drews. Couple haters.
Maybe they get in a spook battle, then team up. There you go. Boo. Want to be friends?
Well, no, people. Well, I guess might be putting a little bit of the cart before the horse here, but a lot of people have talked about potentially there being that faction to where Kross is involved in a faction with Bray, to where maybe other people on this card or other people on the roster might be involved.
I like it, but I don't know. I'm not sold on Kross being a part of the faction. I've always contested that Bray will come back with we'll get into it after, but It's a possibility. I like the idea if done right.
Right.
Yes, Hagen, but we'll get to that in a moment. I hate Kross when he does the cross jacket, change it up. Why?
Yeah, Dro, weren't you a big fan of Killer Kross or Carrion for a hot minute there? So I don't know.
I completely agree with Victor again. I think we get the White Rabbit, which I believe is Bo Dallas, by the way. I might be just fantasy booking and reaching, but I would pop huge if out of like just randomly, like we get some Bo Dallas teaser or Bo's actually there, and I don't know what he does. Like Bo shows up and kidnaps Alexa. I don't know what to fucking tell you.
Only Bo knows.
Only Bo knows. But I think we get the White Rabbit or some very strong indication of this is who it all is. And then Monday night, we get some carnage. I'm in.
Gotcha.
I can't wait.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be one of those. I feel you're going to see that shift of an audience there a little bit.
It'll be interesting because if he comes back being like the evil, cult leader, and he's going to go after one of the big baby faces, and I think it's going to be tough because people are going to be so overjoyed that he's back.
Oh, we're playing here.
I didn't put on my cardigan. It's a polo.
Right.
Thanks for noticing. I did it backwards. I like that. Bo Dallas is the bad wolf. They did tease a wolf. What if Corbin's the wolf?
Right.
What happened to CM Punk AEW? Well, that's a story for another day, Marcus. We actually have a couple streams, including Let's Rumble below. That click on that. We'll tell you all about it. If not, come back tomorrow during AEW Rampage. We'll discuss further. Nothing good is the answer. The simple answer is nothing good.
Yeah, the short answer is what hasn't happened to CM Punk. He may not be with the company anymore. The man's on the sidelines, be with an injury, regardless. Like KJ said,
yep.
Come back at a different time and we'll answer that more in detail.
It will not be Carmella and Chris. Don't even put that out there.
It's gonna be what's his Adam Rose, the bunny from Adam Rose, or
right.
Bad Bunny, like everybody keeps thinking. But we're getting
if it's Bad Bunny, I'll puke. The rear naked choke is not even dangerous as a guillotine is.
Why are we breaking down moves right now like that?
I don't even care. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, like the Cohita clutch or
Cohita clutch,
straight jacket.
It
looks pretty.
Yeah.
When he's back cranking on your neck, it looks pretty good to me. But anyway, let's move forward.
Right. So potentially, and that's another great thing with this card, is that any match realistically could probably be the main event. But so potentially the main event for Extreme Rules, Edge versus Finn Balor in an I Quit match.
Is it your turn to go first?
Oh, okay.
It is your turn to go first.
That's your way of deflection. I'm
matrixing this. I should be careful with words I try and say when I'm.
I'm going to take Finn Balor.
Finn. Whew. All this.
And I think part of what we've been talking about may or may not play into this.
Oh, fuck. What I kind of want. I want my vindication. Damn it! I want Edge to somehow be tied back into Bray out of left field.
He might, just not in the way you think.
Oh, I don't know. That was so provocative.
It's provocative and it gets the people going.
Edge for the win all the way. I got Edge. I'm gonna go Edge.
I'm going Finn Balor. The Judgment Day is on a heater. They need to be built up still more. You've got the whole Dom and Ray storyline. I know I'm going against it with the fact that Edge just came back and it's his 5th return in probably about as many months. But I think Hunter's already got plans for Finn, and yeah.
I'm going to go Edge. And I just have, a little bit of hope of like Edge comes out like we expect him to, the way we've seen him as of late, comes running out. He's all amped up in his tight leather jacket. The match is going on, and Finn is doing very well. And maybe somebody assists Edge to put Balor in a point of saying, I quit. It's possible. I don't mind that take because it's mine, but yeah, I'm gonna go Edge. I don't know why.
Well, Edge has been very, I guess, quote unquote, giving back now on that knows he's on the back 9 and everything. We had that whole thing to where he's probably planning to have his last match in August next year in Toronto and so on and so forth. And like I said, I feel like there's just a lot of name something else that you really talk about on Monday Night Raw besides Judgment Day right now in one form or fashion, whether it be because of Rhea and Dom or
Well, and we talked about this on Monday. We have one of two things happening here, Nick. Either they're building up Judgment Day, because they have over the last couple episodes, they've built up Judgment Day. They've ended the shows with Judgment Day. Judgment Day's had a big part of the show. Fuck. This one is really a coin toss. It really is. It could go either way.
That one's super hard to try and decide on.
Here we go. White Rabbit himself says, I believe White Rabbit appears during when Edge says, I quit. Judgment Day come out attacking Edge. Then red lights, intro theme. Well, I almost thought like, Edge is about to lose or, he's in a weird position and the lights all flicker red and somehow, Edge transforms before our very eyes and decimate, gets out of the hole and decimates Finn. And I don't know. I'm stretching. I don't even like that theory. So,
well, my theory, and I guess, do we want to just get right into the big question that's ever on the tip of everybody's
Are we out of matches?
Yeah, that is the last match. It's a nice. That's the
Will
thing
that be
with
the main event?
WWE. It's not like AEW to where you have 2 decades worth of matches. You have a nice little tight 6-match card. The Wyatt 6.
So that most likely, if that's the main event, I would expect some type of holy shit moment to go off the air.
Right.
You know what would be cool? If everything went red, and at the very end of the night, say Edge is there, he says, I quit. Either the Judgment Day's beating him up or they're not, but you get 4 or 5, maybe 6 figures, but you don't know who they are. Like the lights go red and these people appear, but without revealing who they are. It's possible.
But it's very much possible. I mean, it's a little bit like what Gacy's got going on right now in NXT. But I feel like we saw now that they've got a director of long-term storytelling. We don't know exactly what WWE might have up their sleeve.
Yeah, define long-term storytelling, because if this White Rabbit shit goes to fucking Mania or to Royal Rumble, I think people will give up on trying to solve these riddles.
Well, no, I think if you compare this to the Vince era, I think anything past a week counts as long-term storytelling.
Fair enough. We got some fans, mostly Edges by my count right now. Dale agrees. Edge wins. Finn could turn on Judgment Day.
Well, that's the thing is I feel like some of these, and I guess with both of us on either way, they're kind of gambles. Go ahead.
They're kind of gambles.
No, I was just saying they're kind of gambles on. They could go really either way of, like with Ronda or Liv, they could go either way. With Edge versus Finn, they could go either way. Christ, even with Rollins versus Riddle, they could go either way.
Yeah. Imperium could go either way. This is what we need.
Right.
This is what we need, Nick. Could it be that somehow Rey Mysterio causes Edge this match? That he's the one that's pissed off, and you know what? I can't beat him. I'm going to join him, but Edge pushed me, and he blamed me, and he yelled at me. So fuck that guy.
he does the sting and pulls off his mask to reveal another mask, except this one's black and purple, and he just goes, "It was me, Edge. It was me all along."
Right.
My knee.
I've actually seen visuals of Ray in the like a black and purple, like people have put it out there, right? Like the black and purple eye contacts and shit. Do it. Let's go. I'd be really fucked up as Rey Mysterio joins a dark cult.
Rhea just doms the Mysterio family now.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Everyone wants to see Edge and Bray team up. The Triple H knows that. What I would like about this is the way it arced with those videos. Edge comes back, but didn't really speak to the videos at all, and I look stupid. However, if this is all long term and connected, I'm all for it. Like that one picture I talked about today, and nobody in our group chat, everyone's like, just there, KJ. Everyone ignored me. But I'm like, look at that picture. And then like some of the imagery, you're like, I don't know, dude.
Well, I think. Oh, hi. Bless you. But I think that that's part of this whole thing. Is that there's 10 million ways that you could go with this whole White Rabbit situation. And you're not really sure.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I'm struggling.
Fucking you're good.
Sneezed all over my arm. Son of a bitch.
That's how you know we're live, folks. My internet's turned heel on me. KJ's got the snuffles.
Yeah, my face is turned heel on me.
Right.
You can tell by just looking at it.
All better heel turns than Cora Jade's skateboard, by the way.
Oh my fucking god. Yes, I kind of want to see it. Like I kind of was okay with it originally. I think maybe the Vince McMahon and the Cody thing fucked it all up, but let's get it right. Let's see what happens.
Well, I think though that statement of everyone wants to see Edge and Bray team up is a bit.
This guy's like everybody.
Everybody, debatable. I don't know about that. But yeah, I guess we'll get into the big question that's clearly on the tip of everybody's tongue right now, because it's been pretty much rumored, speculated. Gangrel saves Edge. That would be fantastic.
You like that, eh?
All right.
Edge says I quit. Okay.
Ooh.
Welcome to the channel, JT. Would it take a black hole slam into the pile driver? There you go. There's a way to go about it.
Do something strange for a little piece of change. But absolutely. What do we get potentially with the White Rabbit? At Extreme Rules, because it's been kind of speculated, rumored, pretty much halfway confirmed through Fightful, I guess, that the White Rabbit's going to be revealed at Extreme Rules. Does that mean that we really get someone debuting, returning? Who do we get debuting, returning? Or again, if that's even an accurate statement.
Bo Dallas.
That's what you think? You Bo leave?
I'm going all in on Bo. I'm Bo leaving. It could be like, I'm really curious this tie-in with Alexa and what they were doing on Monday. I do apologize that I keep disappearing, folks, and I know I'm fucking up my man's rhythm, but yeah, I really just don't want my face to explode while I'm live.
Right, no, it's just like we've been saying all night. It's the White Rabbit's kind of got us at times.
Yeah, fucking, I'm allergic to rabbits.
Falling down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, no kidding. But for me, I think that I've said from day one that Bray Wyatt is not the White Rabbit. He might be in control of the White Rabbit. He might be associated with the White Rabbit. The White Rabbit's a part of this story, but I think it's a bigger story. I think we had 6 sets of clues. I don't think all the clues pertain to one person. I don't. I think there was little hints and little tricks. And I mean, we even talked about it. I said randomly, like, oh, look at this shit above Edge. And there's someone zooms in, circles weird objects above Edge in his random promo in the I don't know what the fuck he was doing. But there's all these little intricacies. And I do think that somehow this is going to be one of the biggest things we've seen in quite a while. And it has the potential to kind of, I like the idea of something coming in and dominating a wrestling show. I'm tired of this, like, you win one, I win one, you win one. I want someone to come in and just fucking run through a fucking bunch of people.
That's called Roman Reigns. But no, I'm with you on parts of that. I feel at the end of the day, no matter what I feel like almost though with this whole situation, no matter what fan theory it is, no matter what fan fiction, whatever halfway down a rabbit hole you get, whichever pathway you try and look at this, you're not going to be disappointed. I think we do get Bray returning on Extreme Rules.
You think we're going to see Bray Wyatt at Extreme Rules?
Yeah, we may. I'm of almost two minds of it to an extent. So we could literally just get the I Quit match, and then we just get like a hard cut or whatever, like the staticky cut, and then we literally just get Bray very much looking like myself right now, back in the Firefly Funhouse.
I don't think we're going back to the Funhouse.
The Yowie Wowie, you found me.
I don't know. I'm torn about this too. I think Bray's going to want to evolve past it. However, the Firefly Funhouse has become this cult thing. So to revisit it, I think people will go nuts.
That's the thing, is you can do so much with it. And I think it becomes almost a universe within itself, which I feel like halfway of this whole thing with the White Rabbits kind of become. A lot of this stuff has pointed back towards like the Let Me Ins and everything, which was all stuff that Bray did during when his kind of Fiend run.
Yeah. No, just Chris has got a point here where it's a huge disappointment if Bray Wyatt isn't the White Rabbit. What if he's not the White Rabbit, but he is? It's still him. Like, what if it is? What if we find out on Saturday, somebody like Redbeard shows up or somebody like Bo shows up, and you're like, oh shit, he's the White Rabbit. Some people might be like, oh, fuck. But then what if Monday the bigger picture gets expressed? Or what if we get different pieces all the way to Survivor Series? And I said it, and you said, if you had a triple threat, if you had 12 men in War Games and everything goes off and turns back on and you got the Wyatt Six climbing all over this fucking cage like a ravenous pack of wolves.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm kind of good with it.
A fantastic image. And ultimately, if I was fully fantasy booking, could do it my way however I wanted, that makes a lot of sense.
That's my favorite thought. But
right.
Yeah.
But even if you get Bo Dallas, that maybe he just comes out there and surprise, hey, it's just Bo. And he's telling everybody about how you've got to Bo leave. And that's how, he Bo leave that he would be back in WWE. And then maybe we get something that kind of turns, whether it's in his promo or we get back to like the Fiend type stuff of the lights cut out, or we get some creepy music, or we get a QR code.
Are they actually going to play White Rabbit during like the pay-per-view? Like, will it come on and everyone's like, what the fuck?
Depends on how much they want to dig into them coffers, into them pockets, because
it very much is fun. What? Not you, Con. I said, come on, Nick.
Oh, well, yeah, I think they very much could have, but it's smart the way that they've been doing it. It's made it viral.
Yeah, I kind of like Nick's thought there. It's a possibility. I mean, we've talked about the puppets coming to life, so maybe someone like Karrion Kross or somebody like Bo Dallas. I keep saying Bo, it's so funny. Is the White Rabbit. I don't believe Bray Wyatt is in fact the White Rabbit. I just think he's, I think Bray Wyatt is the ultimate answer. I think giving us someone else might throw a bunch of people off the set of like, oh, fuck, it's him. And then we'll see what happens.
But you get that MJF effect, though, of you built it up to this point and that you don't get what you want. Even if it's still good, you're somehow disappointed. Like I said, I think it could be to where you get Bray in the Firefly Funhouse, and we go back to that, and the Fiend's just the ultimate boss. Again, he doesn't need the title. He doesn't need to go that route. He could just go on a path of destruction.
Or just everybody.
Right. Or we get the Fiend literally shows up. And I think out of the two, in the match that we talked about being potentially the main event, he goes after Edge. I know you've talked about them teaming up, and I know a lot of people.
He takes out Edge.
That we get that kind of feud initially.
You think he can take over the
Judgment Day, like how we did with Angle, with Mick Foley, of he starts taking out legends, or one of those. Maybe he just goes and I'm going to cut this poopy head off at the top or the tree off at the head.
Right. Do you think he could join Judgment Day or be the leader of Judgment Day, or he comes in and tells them, okay, you guys sucked, but now I'm here and you follow me? Will that work? Will that transition work? Will they be able to get into that?
And well, we had people thinking that Bray was going to show up and be the leader of the Dark Order just because of the Brody Lee combination or connection. So maybe we take the Rainbow Connection over to the House of Blue, and he could. I'm not saying I want that. I think Bray might just still be him, because we've had those mentions of going after Alexa, or maybe goes after Gacy, or maybe goes after Kross. But I could very much see, if he was going to be in a faction that already exists within WWE, he takes over the Judgment Day. He's truly the supernatural force behind them.
Yeah, I don't like it because they haven't done a whole lot supernatural, right? Like that's, I think, part of the problem. They've been going through this. Again, if they were doing spooky shit, fine. So it's kind of interesting how that all ties together. I don't exactly love that approach. But I do think, Triple H said expect somebody you don't expect, or expect, could it be Gacy and Schism?
Oh, that was painful to hear. It could be, because we've had that whole situation with the woman in the, or I'm assuming the woman in the red hood or red hoodie with the smiley face mask. But I think that very much, what?
It literally just for 2 weeks seeing the girl, or I'm assuming the girl in the red hood. I never put the Riding Hood thought to it as far as connecting the dot.
I had halfway thought that, but I still think, again, my theory with this is it might be more of they're giving you enough breadcrumbs and enough little tidbits and enough Easter eggs and everything like you've talked about to lead you further down the rabbit hole to distract you from what's really going on.
Yeah, that's the other part of this, is what's misdirection, what matters, what doesn't matter. Oh, it's awesome. It really is. Sue Young has the White Rabbit attacking Alexa Bliss. Nah, I don't think so. Alexa Bliss lost this week, and I think that's by design.
Yeah,
I know.
We had that whole, very much that tie-in, and like I said, it goes back to a lot of the stuff involving the feed of if you call the White Rabbit Records, the person says, "Let me in."
Right.
The tie-in to Alexa when she turned on Bray and everything. Well, that was while he was the Fiend.
Yeah.
There's a lot of this that ties into where we may not be getting a full repackage that everybody thinks we're getting.
I want like a fucking, like an absolute breakdown of what the exact overall plan and deliverables were from the team that came up with this. I want to know what the exact, all of it. And that's just me being greedy, and maybe we'll never know, Nick, but it would be really cool to figure out, decipher between it all of like,
I bet you in like 5 to 10 years, you'll get a DVD package from WWE called like the White Rabbit edition or something.
Right.
Like that.
Let's do it. Eric Redbeard wouldn't make sense because he already seen him from AEW. That doesn't mean shit. I don't know why it would make sense. Redbeard's not signed to AEW.
I was going to say, cool. There's a lot of people that are signed with AEW that don't want to be in AEW. So what does that have to do with him?
Yeah, just because he appeared, and it is what it is. But I think if I could fully see, ring, hello, oh, Papa Paul, how you doing? Yes, I still have a red beard. Yes, I like Bray. Yes, let's do it. Like, yeah, absolutely.
Before you can even finish the question, do you? Yes.
Yes.
Would you? Yes.
Hi. Yes.
All right. Yes. How you doing? Yes.
Well, and you figure, like, again, like the Wyatt family with their, comeuppance through NXT, and I think Triple H was a fan of them, and I think that was another example. Even Brody Lee, even when they had good times, we always felt we could have got more out of Brody. We could have got more out of Redbeard. The Legend Brother thing fell to shit completely, but I felt like they had a lot of good, and I could see Redbeard coming back and being a part of this. Who would you put in the 6? You just asked me, but there's 2 of us, so
no, you're good. This is your thing, because I was about to ask you of if it was only Bray, if it's only like what I pitched, to where we say we get the end of Extreme Rules, we look like we're going off the air, and all of a sudden we get static, and then we just get. you know, the Firefly Funhouse, and it cuts that way, and it cuts
Yeah.
that way, and then all of a sudden we get Bray that pops up. Yowie wowie, you found me.
And go off
And
air.
yeah, so you go off air, or maybe he says a little bit more, and then you go off air like that. Would you be disappointed?
That's a solid fucking question, Nick. That really is a solid fucking question. Because as you were explaining it, I'm like, oh, fuck, no. I don't know. I think it's too anticlimactic if he's just pops up in the, like, you know, dressed like you are and in
But
the
you get
funhouse.
Bray back.
Yes. And I will be happy. It's just, I mean, I'm going to be pumped that, oh, fuck, he's here. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I just don't know if that's the way I would go with it, or if the way you can maximize the impact of what you're trying to accomplish with all this imagery, with all these clues, with all this shit. I think the finale, the conclusion's got to tie into all of it. And I don't know if the Funhouse does it for me.
But is that because it's potentially one of those of that you're so invested in, that this is the first thing in a long time that they've really done well, that you're super invested in, that literally we've been on streams, 3-hour streams, and they'll put a QR code in the first 20 minutes of Raw. And now we're talking for 2.5 hours about a QR code and rabbits on wrestling.
Yes.
Is it?
And that's why I think that.
What?
I think that's partly why I think that. Like, this has been such a big thing, and the buzz around it's so big. I think anything we get is going to be good. I just don't know if that's big enough.
Well, that's the thing, is like I was about to say, is it one of those of that it's just you want it to keep going because it's so goddamn good. You don't want to get off the ride.
It's part of it. I mean, we talked about it, where if they drag this out to, if they, anything's possible. Like, where people go, oh, they can't do that. If they do it right, they can do anything. So if they have a compelling way to get us from here to Survivor Series, do it. I'm all in. We've been all in to this point. However, if we don't get anything at Extreme Rules and it continues to go, then at what point are you like, all right, fuck, like, how many times can you give us clues that say Bray Wyatt, Bray Wyatt, Bray Wyatt, Bray Wyatt? Like, there has to be some, like, I think they're too pot committed at this point, where you're literally at that kerplunk moment. You either were fucking, you know, Jenga. You're either going to fucking win it all, or you're going to fucking topple that tower.
Yeah, and I guess to halfway answer Hagen's question here about who would you put in the 6, or if we're going to do a Wyatt 6. But I do like your whole theory of we're getting 6 clues.
I do think that. I think we're missing something. And like, I think if we went back, and I don't know everything about Bo, I don't know everything about Redbeard, I don't know everything about other people. It felt very on purpose how much the clues were connected to Alexa this time. The 6 that I've seen rumored that I wouldn't mind is, I think Alexa gets in there. I think we revitalize Alexa, because the last time she was relevant. Maybe dial it back a little bit, not as woohoo, but I like Alexa getting pulled back in. I think Karrion Kross would be a nice touch. I think if the faction is what I want it to be, as far as just annihilating the roster, give me Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Scarlett, I mean, we'll count her as, you know, we'll count them as one. I like the idea of Bo. I like the idea of Redbeard. And who's the 6th? Loomis.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty much right there with you if that's what you want to go with a faction. But to me, I like the whole theory. And I know I've said this before, and you're probably going to hate this, of sometimes stuff's imagery for imagery, and there's red herrings that throw out.
I didn't even see the Edge.
Yeah, but no, I like that the tie-in of maybe it's a misdirection of the Wyatt 6 is the 6 clues leading up to Wyatt,
or just the 6 rendition of Wyatt.
Perhaps.
Right.
I think we still, at the end of the day, to me, I think we just get Wyatt solo dolo.
I like that. We're gonna write that down. I say faction. Yes or no? You said Bray Wyatt will be here solo,
right? Yeah. Oh, I very much thought that this could be a potential tiebreaker if need be.
Bray. So
you think no Bray, or do you want no? If you can't just say no Bray, because that's like TBD. If you went with Bo specifically, so you need to have Bo Dallas show up.
Oh, I need Bo Dallas to show up. I do not believe that we're going to physically get Bray Wyatt, but we are going to get the White Rabbit.
Oh, for the
What?
this
It's true.
man, he
We're
was
not gonna.
in all of the loophole legal.
We're not going to get Bray Wyatt at Extreme Rules. We're going to get the White Rabbit, though. There we go.
I think I'm saying if we get Bray Wyatt, whether he be physically there, sir.
Yeah, but are you going
to? Is my dog stepped on a bee?
So you're telling me that Bray Wyatt is the White Rabbit? Is your summation?
I think this is all leading to a return of Bray Wyatt. Whether the Fiend is the White Rabbit, however they want to meld it together, I think this is Bray Wyatt solo dolo. Whether he be in a video package, in ring, what have you, I think we get Bray Wyatt at Extreme Rules.
No, I truly think that. And listen, I love this because we're supposed to have different opinions at times, and I've just felt like from day one, and now we're literally going on a year. 1 year ago at this time, I was sitting on YouTube talking like this, explaining to people how Bray Wyatt was about to join AEW and show up. And it all never happened. I bet Tony's kicking himself that it never happened because it's been one of the biggest buzz things. I don't think you can make people believe that it's Bray Wyatt to this point and not give us Bray Wyatt. I just think they might give us one false finish, oh no, wait, what? Not Bray, what? Ooh, what?
One more attachment to Bray before we get to Bray.
I don't know though, but I think a false finish I'm all for. And I do think DX better be like on their fucking on their A game come Monday night.
FTR isn't going to show up for you to job them out or anything like that at this reunion. You might have, the Fiend showing up.
Does anyone out there have any weird theories? Like, I mean, there you go. Joe Gacy, Brody King, Malachi. Malachi won't be there. He's got a contract. He's fucked.
Right. We have these things called contracts. So,
right.
And that's 4, not 6.
Strowman, not Loomis.
Oh, Brawny the Strowman in his tight pants? No.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of like Strowman being tucked in a faction like that and being the heavy.
But that's the thing, though, is a lot of these people have just returned and you have to do another hard shift after you just return them.
I don't know if it's a hard shift in the sense of Braun's not doing shit. Loomis isn't really doing shit other than.
But does Braun right now scream spooky to you?
No, because he's not doing anything. So,
but
and Loomis is giving us the Dahmer treatment, but he's not exactly spooky. It's more comical than spooky.
I like that's the thing is you could make a valid argument for either side. I'm more, I guess, on the fence of I think Bray's, go ahead.
Finish your thought. I was just laughing at Victor.
Theory that KJ loves.
Oh, I love this fucking theory. Guys, and everyone, you can snip this part of the fucking show and share it with all your friends and go, what a fucking loser this guy is. What a mark. I'm telling you right now, and it's not going to happen. I don't believe it. But in the fantasy realm of my head, the fact is if the White Rabbit or the leader of a White Rabbit faction, if it turned out to be Vince McMahon, would be one of the biggest sonic boom in maybe wrestling history. Like, I honestly think it would be earth-shattering. Like, people would lose their mind. The New York Times would be covering it. The fucking TMZ would be covering it. ABC, NBC, CNN, everybody would be like, oh my God, the man that was, embarrassed and besmirched and had to leave has now come back with this big ruse. Will it ever happen? No. But imagine, whether you love it or hate it, it would be fucking insane.
Oh, it would be a historic moment in professional wrestling. And I feel like, honestly, no matter what we get, it's going to be a historic moment in professional wrestling.
I like this. WWE ain't trying to be AEW.
Got him.
Yeah, and listen, I think Tony has a chance here. Listen, I said it. We're not going to jump into AEW tonight. We'll talk about it tomorrow. But if Tony could find a way to get all these disgruntled people to leave and then come back as an army, that would be the way to go. all right, guys, you're all going to team up and go against me, and I'm going to be a benevolent, smug, prick owner that's best friends with all the people that everybody hates. Sammy, Jericho, Bucks, Kenny. We're going to have a super faction run by annoying TK against all the people we love. FTR, Wardlow, fucking Punk.
I see your case,
Kingston.
and I'll first lead with this.
Yeah, you need something.
I've seen that before, and it was called the New Blood versus the Millionaires Club.
Yeah, fair enough.
WCW with Eric Bischoff and Vince Russo running the New Blood versus the Millionaires Club of all the legends and everything like that. And
that kind of idea. And you remember, he's a WCW mark, like a big one.
Right. And guess what happened after that company? It went out of fucking business.
Yeah, well, I guess his theory is going to be, well, they fucked up. I'm not going to fuck up.
Right. Well, surely if they blew up this time doing it, well, I couldn't do that. That's not going to happen to me. Fucking Wile E. Coyote of professional wrestling.
That's awesome. Stone Cold's back. He has a question. Nick?
What?
Yes.
You have a question. What? Stone Cold. What? Have a Steve Weiser. What? Talking about Extreme Rules. What? Wrestling for Life. What?
I agree with Victor.
Nope.
You bailed on the once? You bailed on the once and went, nah.
Oh, no. I could have.
That was the best.
I walked this thin line of, do the wets become,
you couldn't give me one more.
Are they over or are they a heel?
You were so unimpressed with the thought that we won't get brain till Monday. You were just like, what?
Because listen, I think I've been drinking the Kool-Aid here. I'm into the whole Wyatt conspiracy. Yeah, it's funny how we've turned completely the opposite ways.
It's so funny. And now I'm like, not yet. And you're like, he's here. And I'm like,
right. He was here yesterday.
Shit. I see Wyatt coming next SmackDown because White Rabbit, I think he's going to. It looks like Triple H is trying to stack that 3-hour show because you need to fucking stack a 3-hour show and you got to make sure there's quality in key spots. But the brand split's kind of been loosey-goosey lately, so I don't fucking know.
Well, yeah, and I still hold of the theory of people are going to instantly, if it is Bray, that they're going to instantly be like, oh, he needs the title. Oh, he needs to go against Raw.
That's why Raw is nice.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to go for a belt like that. He needs to be something like the Undertaker the Undertaker held the WWE Championship, but
not always.
Anyone tell me a big title reign that he had, or a reign that was super impressive, or something that you really remember when he was champ? For the most part, no. You were excited just because it was a goddamn Undertaker match.
That's the point.
Right.
I agree with you on that. And that's why I like the idea. You put him on fucking Raw and you keep him away from fucking Roman. And then this way people are like, well, he should be going after Roman. No, Roman's over there. I'm over here fucking up every Monday I show up and I fuck everything up and I run everything around here.
You make the shows individuals.
What's that?
I was just saying, you make the shows individuals. You make Raw feel different than SmackDown, and you make them matter differently.
You might have to wiggle a title off Roman, though, unless Bray shows up with his own.
Maybe
belt.
You do a draft, and then you take the title off of them like we've pitched, and I'm still waiting to see.
It's interesting because we've now got, we've talked about the draft for a while, so we'll see what happens there coming out of Survivor Series.
Right.
For some reason, I see Judgment Day interfering with DX. No.
Oh, if they do, they're getting jobbed out hard. Go back and watch when they had it. It was the 25th anniversary, and they had FTR. And it was the low light of FTR's run in WWE. If Judgment Day gets involved with DX, you're getting the same thing. You're Finn Balor's eating all of the super kicks.
Yes. And another point Victor makes about Monday is the fact that Monday is at the Barclays Center, which there's just this near and dear love relationship over the last while with the Barclays Center. We had the big NXTs there. We've had really good Brooklyn shows. Monday at Barclays has all the potential to be a fucking wild show.
New York's always been a hotbed and a strong base, like pretty much home territory for WWE. So whether it be in Barclays, Madison Square Garden, wherever.
Oh, not you. Sorry.
I read the comment. I was going to say, what
I
is that? Like, first one to topple over loses? Like,
right. What?
right. I can watch I can go out in my backyard and look at as much action of watching two trees beside each other as that match right there.
Right. Chris is saying that Bray has to come on his day off. I wish it worked that way. All these teasers lead to Bray yet. If it's not him, how many people do you think will be disappointed? I think there'll be a large collection. Again, it's all in how you deliver it. I'm not expecting Bray Wyatt to be the White Rabbit. I expect him to be kind of like you see the picture behind Nick. Bray Wyatt's in the middle, and he's surrounded by people. Now, the Wyatt 4-5 on the wall, there's a secret, additional person. But, yeah, I mean, if you look at the wall behind Nick, that's how I see this. Is I do not believe that Bray is the White Rabbit. I think that's one of the misdirections of this. It's the old sleight of hand. Look this way, I'm going to go that way.
See, I'm with you just on literally the mirror image of that with look this way, not that way. Except
look that way, not this
way. Yeah, it's not the faction. You zig, I'm zag.
Right.
It's not the faction. It's
just him. Yeah. So yeah, we have a parallel kind of path, except he runs solo on yours and he runs with some friends on mine.
Right.
Which, oddly enough, you get him to the Firefly Funhouse alone. I get him outside of the Firefly Funhouse with people.
You're right. What with the Firefly Funhouse just live?
Yeah, exactly. KJ would be so angry. We could literally listen. If you ever want to see a stream that's worth going viral, tune in if someone like Bad Bunny is the White fucking Rabbit. I will make an absolute mockery of myself, of everything I'm watching. It might be the last day this channel is functional.
I was going to say, I'll go walk off for like 20 minutes. I'm just going to let you have the floor.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'd be able to respond. I just sit there in fucking awe of it all. But I don't think that's the case. But
no.
Yeah, I mean, if it was Vince, I would lose my mind, though. If it's not Bray and I'm like, oh, fuck, it's Vince, I'd be so spun out that it wouldn't be disappointing. It just all depends on what you do. No.
Right, no.
Cut the shit. Thank you, Victor.
Right.
Maybe the White Rabbit is Peter. Okay. All right.
But no, on a side note,
now we're getting silly.
That's real quick side note, because I've seen this video go around. Did you see the real life Peter Griffin, the guy who cosplays as Peter Griffin, has been named the real life Peter Griffin, hit a Dominator on somebody in a match?
I had not seen the real life Peter Griffin take a.
I will send that to you after this.
All right.
Fantastic. And the wide world weird of professional wrestling.
Fucking hell. The IWC.
Right.
Are they shuffling the roster? Yeah, Carlos, I think they're still in this work in progress. They're shuffling announcers. They're shuffling commentators. They're shuffling personnel. They're revamping people. Like, we're still like, does Elias have enough of a beard to return? Maybe he comes back. Where's, Charlotte? Where's Becky? Well, we know Becky's still hurt. But there are all these question marks around so many different names. And then people are still like, what about Malachi? What about Murphy? What about, we understand, and I know people get excited. There are contractual obligations that they're all going to have to work through. I still think the best thing ever, but apparently like Punk's going to be bought out for 2 years. Can't go anywhere.
I just think with WWE, we're just getting that slow drip from the Papa Paul era of, he even said outright, I'm not going to change everything like that overnight. We're going to get that slow change, and now we're finally starting to see everything take effect.
Do you know what this is? No, what the comparable for me in my head, this is where my head went. Right? Think about this. The difference between what is happening in WWE right now and what has happened in AEW for the last while, it's, the Eddie Murphy bit about how, when you're young and you're just excited to be fucking, and you're just like, right? But when you get older, you get some, swag and sway. That's what this feels like. One is the excited kid that's just happy that he's landing. And then the other one is like, I know I'm landing. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to work this out. I'm going to get some moves, and then we're good to go. That's what this feels like, right? Like, it's just like, oh shit, new wrestler here. Choo, 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 choo. That's a gross analogy. But at the end of the day, that's what it feels like. A little more maturity when it comes to the booking.
The only thing, and I fully agree with what you said and heard every word of it, but the only thing that instantly jumped to my mind was Roman's whole promo of, it's like missionary.
Yeah.
Every single night.
Right? But that's it. You know, Tony keeps blowing his load in his pants, and Triple H is trying to, you know.
What I thought about Mary or American Pie.
You could totally see Tony walking in the room with Tony holding the pie. Like, what?
Folks, make it happen out there. I know there's plenty of you creative people watching us right now. I want to see memes out there, and if you see them showing up, you know where they came from. To where you have Tony Khan on Jason Biggs' head from American Pie.
The pie. The last couple minutes of this episode are going to be rough, but we're heading towards the door now, folks. So
right.
I love the new commentary teams for each. Rocco, I'm looking forward to it. I'm curious about a couple of them, but change is good sometimes. Shuffling it up is good. I mean, at some point, I really think they should consider, hey, Mike, maybe you're not the commentary guy anymore.
Oh, you think they get rid of Michael Cole?
I do. I just think that you remember when every once in a while JR would get fired from some nonsensical fucking PR situation, or
they make it storyline,
right? But he would go away for a while. I think
that's because, sorry.
Well, because he went through health issues. He went through issues with his wife's health issues, but he also got fired a couple times. So for me, I just think, like, you know what, Cole, work the background for 6 months, 8 months, a year, just so we don't fucking hear you for a minute, and then we'll bring you back. Because now, I'm tired of him.
What if, because Cole's pretty much been already running this position, since we now have a director of long-term storytelling, what if we have a head of on-screen talent, I guess?
Or the director of commentary, and
you have Cole do that, because he's basically been doing it. But I still like the idea of potentially, if they might have to sign a person, or football season might have to be done. But my dream commentary team right now for WWE is Morrow and Corey on Raw, Cole and Pat on SmackDown, and you get Barrett and Booker, the two Bs on NXT.
I think Morrow and Matto and Corey play off each other extremely well, Nick. I really do. I think that whole idea of, like, Corey being that ignorant little kind of heeless asshole self, and like Matto over emotes, right? Like, are you kidding me?
Right, but you get that King Heyman almost a little bit, or that JR Heyman a little bit, but also Corey's underrated in that he still will call stuff, Oshigoroshi and everything.
He knows his shit.
He'll pull it out. Yeah,
I honestly think if Graves had somebody other than Saxton and whoever the rotating middle guy was for the last little bit, I mean, I think Graves, a lot of times, he's funny, he's witty, he gives us a little taste of Bobby the Brain, but then it doesn't like the other commentators don't register it right. Yeah, he needs a little, serve spike volley.
Right, kind of like what we do.
Right. Most days. Maybe Bray Wyatt shows up and helps Cameron Grimes fight Joe Gacy. We are not going to see Bray Wyatt show up at NXT before he shows up in the main roster. No. The White Rabbit is Rick Boogs. Thank you. Somebody gave me a funny one. Can you imagine he comes out just playing the White Rabbit song?
Just shredding on the guitar.
Just
doing a White Rabbit solo. In bunny ears, absolutely.
Oh, my God. Drew to Raw and AJ Styles to SmackDown. I don't know about that yet. Hold on. Because I do still think there's an angle at play with AJ.
What if you get AJ and the Good Brothers versus Roman and the Usos?
It's possible. I still like to add one more member to each team. KJ, I would love to see Asuka bring Sarai from NXT, Sarai. And then, I don't much care. And the idea of that, you're both from the same part of the world, we should shove you in a team together. I know there's a little bit of history there, but I think Asuka should go back to being the fucking Asuka that nobody was ready for, other than the Asuka that nobody wants to be ready for.
Right. They tried that with Kairi Sane. I'm surprised they didn't try it with Io Shirai. So no.
What if Triple H is the White Rabbit? I like that. I mean, again, I kind of, it can't be Big E. Don't be Big E. That will upset me.
They're
That's
just
not
going
good.
out pancakes with rabbit bunnies pressed
If like
on the
a
front of
fucking
them.
bunny comes hopping out, like, and then all of a sudden Big E comes out of a fucking box of cereal and everyone's all happy, fuck off.
No, we'll get a giant. It'll be like the gobbledygooker. We'll just get a giant rabbit hopping down,
Fuck
and
that.
then Big E will take off the costume, and it was Big E all along.
Hey Nick, all egomaniac wrestling. What do you think? Pretty close.
It's also been. I've called it all ego wrestling, all toxic wrestling, all asshole wrestling.
I like all asshole wrestling. I do.
Yeah, well, I think I like yours of AEW 902.10 or
I keep hashtagging that when I put a post about AEW. Hashtag AEW 90210.
Right.
Brody King, the Butcher and the Blade, and the Murder Hawk.
Fantasy booking.
Absolutely.
Right, and then we'll just get Sami Callihan, and we'll get Abyss, and then we'll just get that person and that person. No.
Yes. Victor, I can't wait. Bobby Fish is in it as well. Jimmy Smith was the guy in the middle. Yes, he was.
And then there was Adnan before that.
Yeah, there's been a couple.
Was there for a cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee. White Rabbit is RVD and Sabu.
No, that's the strain.
Yeah, that's actually who's going to help Riddle win on the weekend. Man, make them a tag team. It would be the most over shit ever. And just pump out 420 fucking merch. If it was those two, and again, Rob Van Dam is a legend. He's fucking amazing, but he's not what he used to be. Let's be honest. So you put him in a tag team where he gets to hang on the rate, and those two just doing skits and fucking with people as stoners. I'm in. Let's go.
So White Boy Cheech and Chong.
Yes.
That's basically what it would be. Well, for a half a second, I thought you were throwing Sabu into there. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I don't know. Sabu's missing body parts and everything. Bray, Bo, and Gacy's crew. Pretty close. It's possible.
You'll have to tune in, folks, for when we are live here on Saturday, covering that to let us know.
Right now, we will. The numbers keep bouncing back. It's funny. I think the White Rabbit is a new wrestler, like the Undertaker, with the but in drag instead, known as the. Okay, there we go. Great.
Wait, sorry, I missed that one.
The Underslaker. So yeah, the
Underslaker. Oh! Stop!
What are you doing?
Trying to click the thing.
Hi, I'm coming out as a Virgo. Congratulations.
I'm a Virgo too.
I primarily don't get along with Virgos. Figure that out. No, just kidding. See y'all tomorrow, the same bat time. But look, Victor knows what's up. We are heading towards the door, folks. I can't believe we were literally talking about being on for 45 minutes, and I knew it wasn't going to be 45 minutes, my buddy. And I'm not complaining at all. This was a fun night. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. The White Rabbit is Mordecai. No, not happening. Thank God, no sex chat. No, shh. Carlos, we're trying to get out of here without it happening. Ladies and gentlemen.
Depends on your perspective, sir. Do something strange for a little piece of change.
That's it, right? You never know. Click on it. You might find your soulmate. I have no idea what to tell you. That being said, folks, we are the Wrasslin for Life Network. That is Big Nick. I am KJ. Shout out to CJ. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Thursday. I hope your Friday treats you well. I hope you head into this weekend. Come back. This is the weekend to be on this fucking channel. Excuse my French. But we are stacked and loaded because nobody does it the way we do it. We will be here for 4. You heard me. 4. We're coming in for Bound for Glory. We're coming in for SmackDown. We're coming in for Rampage. We are coming in for that. Why do I keep saying it like that? We're coming in for Battle of the Belts. It's going to be an amazing Friday night. 4 streams, at least 2 hosts. 4 shows, at least 2 hosts, and 1 stream. It's going to be one hell of a fucking weekend, one hell of a night. And then we're back. Saturday, we couldn't just do Extreme Rules. We are literally starting 2 hours prior to Extreme Rules. and we're going to do GCW. And it's a big match because we got Moxley versus Gage, the title versus the career. Does Gage actually leave GCW, say goodbye, farewell, sayonara? We don't know, but we're going to find out, and then we're going to watch some Extreme Rules. So it's going to be a hardcore death into Extreme Rules. Let's go. It's going to be so much fun. Sunday, we're back, GCW. Monday, we're back. We got more. It doesn't stop, folks. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the channel. Big Nick, how you feeling about Extreme Rules right now?
Remember, Fireflies will always light the way. All you have to do is let me in.
Let me in.
Bye.
See you on the flip side. Probably with a white rabbit. We'll find out.